Well, the cold of December has come upon us here in central Indiana, and it makes for great shots. And today's video has shots that all include the snow. No getting away from the snow. All at home base Fortville. Only 3 trains, but pretty happy with the captures that we have. First one was a Manifest train, and lots of lovely mixed freight. The second train is the Clinchfield Unit, a heritage unit, and it's one that I chased before, and I was totally unhappy with what I caught. I'll show you that at the end of the video, but this time really caught it well. The heritage unit is a tough one, the Clinchfield that is, because its lettering is very fine, and the yellow against the gray is tough to read in certain conditions. So we were lucky on this catch. The conditions were perfect. So that came out really nicely, really clean. And then the third train was a meet, and it included foreign power. So, and that's one video that I'm actually going to take a little bit of time and demonstrate why and how I fell in love with the drone versus traditional photography. When you have a meet, you have 2 trains side by side. Not easy to catch. You know, the laws of physics apply. You can't see through train on the one track, and if the second track behind it is passing, who knows what you have. The drone allows you to get above that and be able to see it. So we'll demonstrate that in today's video. So let's go. Let's go to the trains.
CAS is copying. That's Tango Alpha Sierra, number 2 track. If I can get past the stopboards, eastbound through the work limits, over.
I must confess, that one snuck up on me. I was doing a voiceover. Have they no respect? Appears to be M132. We'll look that one up. It sounded like he said 132 on the transmission there. So eastbound. Mixed freight with intermodal cars interspersed. It was weird to have guns in between intermodal cars the way they did. You don't usually see them set out more like a big block of containers and then mixed freight, and vice versa, things like that. This one was kind of old school, if you will. Just this, that, and the other. Get her out, go! So that's our first train of the day. In chilly Fortville, home base. They're expecting more snow tonight, Monday night. We shall see what comes. I like the backdrop. But today, we get an opportunity because with all this cloud cover, we can shoot from the north facing south. I haven't done that because you'd be looking right into the sun and you get terrible views. So with all this cloud cover, I should be able to set up with southerly looks, which will be different for home base Fortville. So let's hope hope we get some more action. I understand that Clinchfield Unit is coming through sometime today. M331, I believe, is the train number. It's in Ohio at last report, so it may be a while, but I got all day, every day. Well, 331 is on its way. Been tracking this train for 24 hours. Here it comes. It's got the Clinchfield on it, and I've seen the Clinchfield before, but it wasn't a good catch because the catch was at dawn. Ah, hear that? Time to go that way.
CSX 1903. We're west on 2 track and my initials are MAS, Mike Alpha Sierra.
M331 with that Clinchfield unit on there and a DPU in between. I've been tracking that for 24 hours. Totally worth it. Well, now that we've seen it, I've got a new feature to introduce here on Bituminous Kole, the official Bituminous Kole checklists. And this came out of an idea. I was talking with my friend Craig, and he said, my gosh, there's so many of these. You know, and there's the straight up heritage unit. CSX has 21 of them. And then there's the other special units, honoring the veterans or first responders or the unions and whatnot. So there's a lot. And then if you want to throw in the different paint schemes, the old paint schemes like YN2, Yellow Nose 2, and all that sort of thing, there's a lot. These checklists represent what I want to catch, what I want to chase. And it reminded me of when I collected baseball cards when I was a kid. Now, you see, checklist number 1 doesn't have the Clinchfield unit on. We'll look at checklist number 2. Nope, it doesn't have it either. But checklist number 3, there it is. And we can add a little, a check mark's a little boring. So is an X. Let's put one of these on here. A little hunk of coal. And we'll keep track of this way. And together we'll catch them. Well, we can't say that. That may be trademarked. We're going to catch them. All of them. It's chilly out here. I'm actually zipping up my jacket. Before you know it, I might get my big coat out. Seems early in the season for that. Well, anyway, we've got a manifest train coming and eastbound and another one coming westbound. It's an embarrassment of riches. I'm not sure I'm going to get a meet. That's what we cross our fingers and hope for. But I understand that one of the trains has some foreign power on it. Some Canadian Pacific, some Kansas City Southern, labeled or painted for their old roads, not the merge. So, hope that holds true too. We'll find out in a few minutes. Hey folks, we have 3 camera action on Bituminous Kole. There are those boxcars. Beauties, 86 footers. One for Chessie and one for Conrail. Love it. Now we've got the drone in the air. You can see the snow, my favorite water tower in the whole wide world. And let's zoom up a little bit here and see if I can't see if there's a headlight. Really, I can't quite see it. So we go back to a ground view here in a second to look at these boxes and hoppers and tanks rolling by. And now I'm asking myself, are the train gods smiling on me today even more than they have been all day so far? Do we get the creme de la creme, the crown jewel, a meat? Look at that, there's a headlight. There it is. Led by CP 8945 and Kansas City Southern 4617. It's a meet, and here it is. With the drone you can see both of the trains. I'm going to show you later on what it looked like to be, well, as we view it here, on the left side in the parking lot. because that train on the left, which is the eastbound, is comprised of a lot of really tall cars, which means you can't really see the train on the other side. The drone opens it up. Okay, we've got two bulkhead flat cars here that gave us a little opening, but by then the train was gone. The drone allowed us to see what we couldn't see, because the laws of physics. You can't see through. You can kind of see through auto racks, I suppose. If you have your head in the right angle and the sunlight is correct and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. This is why I fell in love with the drone. This sort of thing where you can rotate around, you can look at either side of the train, not just see one side of the train, and if another one comes on the second track, voila, there it is, you got it. Beauty. That was loud. Yep, pretty great. So we'll pick it up here on the eastbound, and we've got the DPU coming. There she is. And in a moment, see if you can see it, but the westbound train is coming. There it is. How's that look? Could you tell which locomotive is which? Could you tell how many there were? Can you tell anything other than the fact that, well, it looks like there's another train back there. Oh, that looks like hoppers. Again, that's the beauty of the drone. But the beauty of the drone is to get up in the air and be able to see both trains at once. I mean, really see them. And it accomplishes that. I love it. It's just so cool. It's such a thrill in the moment when you're there. Really enjoyed it. All right, that was fun. But now it's time to give you something I referenced earlier, which is to show you what I shot trying to catch the Clinchfield previously. This is on a hot shot I-008 eastbound, and it's moving fast. And it's just after sunrise, but it's cloudy. Light isn't really good. And I was really, truly dissatisfied with this shot. All right, so that's the train, and it's moving at 60 miles an hour, But here's what we end up with. This is a still, and it should be crystal clear, and it's not. I attribute that to, well, in this picture, the camera, but the weather, but this one with the drone, it should still be clear. To me, that's just what time of day, the light we had to work with. So I did what any unreasonable, dissatisfied artiste would do, and I decided to chase. It's moving eastbound, and I thought, yep, okay, I know exactly where this line goes from Indianapolis towards Cleveland by way of Bellefontaine and Sydney and Winchester and all these places. So I thought, yep, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to chase. And I got a little more clarity on a couple of these shots, but it'll make you laugh. This chase is a tough one. The train really moves, and it's a priority train, so they're going to open everything up for it. But going through these small towns on Route 32 is just eating me up. Every time I gain a little ground, I have to make it a grade crossing like this one, or I have town traffic down to 30 miles an hour where the train doesn't need to slow down. But we're going to try and catch it again. Well, I decided to call off the chase. I got to Winchester, which is, let's see, here's our grade crossing. Right, milepost 208. So I went from milepost 263 with the chase and then gave it up. It's a hot shot. It gets all the clearance it needs, and it takes full advantage of track speed. Off you go. And I think if I was to make that chase again, I would have just dropped everything right away and hit the road and got blasting. Instead, what I did was I was excited. It's the Clinchfield. Like, wow. And so I posted on Facebook and tried to give some other rail fans a heads up, and which is sweet and all, but no, I'm not going to say that cost me getting it, but it's like live and learn. That's the first time I chased on the B line heading east, and some 55, 60 miles later of driving, I could not catch up to that train. So maybe it's just one that you don't chase, a line you don't chase on, or maybe it's one where I have to find a better route, be more effective, more efficient. I shrugged my shoulders, whatever. I'm in Winchester now, and I'm on a double track main, and there'll be more action, so we'll hang out here and catch some. But we'll look at Winchester another time. And for now, let's walk it home. Well, I don't know what you thought, but I thought that was one heck of an episode. What a day, out in the snow, freezing like 22 degrees. We had all kinds of mixed freight. We had the Clinchfield Unit. We had a meet. We had Conrail and Chessie 86-foot boxcars. We had DPUs. We had foreign power with just 4 trains. 3 in sequence with the meet. I don't know. That was what it was all about. And now we've introduced a new feature here on Bituminous Kole, the checklists. And we can check off that Clinchfield Unit on checklist CSX checklist number 3. And we'll look for other units going forward. Fill up the checklist. See them all. And speaking of seeing things, the next episode of Bituminous Kole will feature our first catch of the Louisville and Indiana Railroad at Franklin, and a lot of running around and chasing, just trying to figure out what the heck works to maximize what you see in a day. Look forward to bringing you that one. As always, I will bring you to the trains.